Michelin stars. And to this day, I still haven't quite reconciled what that means. And anyway, he was coming into the restaurant, and we've cooked for a lot of critics, a lot of dignitaries before, but for whatever reason, the whole just, I don't even know what it was in that day. We just felt that things were just off, things were odd. We were more nervous, and we're never nervous. Like when a critic comes in, I mean, we chant to each other, kill, 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 kill. We want the critic or whoever that we're trying to impress to leave the restaurant going, holy shit, what just happened? That was unbelievable. And this guy's not even a critic. He's the director of the Michelin Guide, and it is a guide that is was created because of the tire company. It was to create places to eat in France, and it's over 100 years old, and it means the world to chefs in France and in other places in Europe. And they decided to open up the guide in New York and a few other places in America. And controversial in America because it hasn't been around as long. So the stars don't mean as much to the general public. But as a chef, as a cook, I grew up under chefs where the Michelin Guide and the star system meant everything. I would go into work. hear about French restaurants that I had no idea about gaining a star or losing a star. So you finally got the pattern that, okay, this is something important. Momofukoko, we serve just about anything. We serve Japanese food. There's no real ethnic boundaries to what we serve. We just want to serve something that's delicious. But regardless of whatever we serve at Momofuku, we're grounded in French tradition. And I would say almost all of Western cuisine is grounded in French tradition. And if that's the case, every time we cook something, and every time, Chef Keller, Thomas Keller from the French Laundry said it best: when you make a hollandaise sauce, and you're over the stove, and you're making your liaison, and you make it right, you're going back in time. You're making the same sauce that all these French cooks has made. All these cooks have done the same thing, and you share this moment if you do it right. It's a beautiful thing. I didn't understand it till very recently. So the Michelin Guide meant everything. And if any chef tells you they don't care about the Michelin Guide, they're full of shit. Because they either have a stance against it or a stance for it. And as a cook, I didn't expect to ever get a Michelin star. And they grade on a 3-star system. Even if you're included in the guide, it's an honor. 1 star is awesome. It's great in its category. 2-star means it's worth a detour. 3-star means you're at the pinnacle. You are at the top, and it's worth a special occasion. And 3-star basically means if you're going to eat there, you're going to expect the best meal of your life. So 2-star, you're sort of in between good and amazing. So we were dealing with the burden of sort of being the custodian of 2 Michelin star restaurant at Momofukoko, something that we didn't really ever contemplate or think about. We sort of dreaded the fact that we had to carry it. It was an honor, but a very influential chef called me and said, this is the highest honor a chef could receive. And I didn't want this honor, and it was a terrible feeling. But knowing the history of the guide and knowing the history of the culinary profession, it's something that I had to carry. And not just myself, everyone at Momofukoko. So this day, it was winter in 2009, Jean-Luc Noré comes in with a dining companion, and nobody wants to sit in front of him or cook in front of him. Momofukoko is it's like a diner, but we're not serving short order fries and pancakes and burgers. I don't even know how to describe the food we do. We just try to make something delicious. Simple but deceivingly complex. Station, and they sat him in front of me, and he's a very pleasant guy, very nice, and I never get that nervous, ever, but I just lost all composure. I became extraordinarily paranoid about the food. I became, I lost the ability to think straight, and maybe that actually happened. I don't know, because I sort of blacked that whole moment out. him a barrage of canapes, of crudo, of a black peppermint biscuit, a fluke and buttermilk, Santa Barbara uni, and then he drops this question, and he was trying to talk to me throughout the meal, and I was, if you've been to Co, we're not the most loquacious bunch because we're trying to focus on the food, not talk to the guest, and it's not because we're mean or not. We were more concerned about getting the food right. And I was trying to talk to this guy, and he gave me this question, and he said, well, David, this is the first restaurant I've ever awarded 2 Michelin stars to, and I've never eaten that. So immediately, I'm like, he's like, well, I didn't need to eat here because I trust my inspectors. The Michelin Guide is notoriously famous for their inspectors that go anonymous, and they go multiple times, and you have no idea when they come in. And when he tells me that, I'm just like, oh my God, okay, we have to, what do we do? Like, I wish I could turn the volume to 11, like Spinal Tap or something, but we had nothing. You can't serve him anything different than the person to the left or the person to the right. And, you just have to believe in the food that you're serving him. And I just felt no confidence in the food, and I knew the food was good. We knew as a group the food was good, but I was preparing this dish, and I just felt sort of embarrassed when I dropped it to him. Like, I felt like a fraud. It was a dish, a pasta course that we were serving at the time. It was chicken snail sausage with hand-torn pasta. somebody. It sounds sort of weird and terrible, but I think it tasted pretty delicious. And, we take the hand-torn pasta after it's been cooked, and we roll in a little butter, add a little chicken jus, some fenner, a little minced mint, and we cover it in some crispy chicken skin. And there's obviously this chicken snail farce inside. I just felt embarrassed giving him this dish. I don't even know if he even liked it. But the entire time he's eating, and there's discourse between myself and Jean-Luc Naray is happening, he's barely eating his food. They're not large portions, but he's eating a bite or 2 bites. And you have to know that this is an open kitchen. If it was a closed kitchen, it would have been so much easier, but I still would have seen the food come by. Every chef wants to see the food come by. You want to see empty, clean plates. Nothing is worse when you see plates come by the dishwasher and it's full of food. It is the most disheartening thing, and you know somebody messed up. And ultimately, you have to put the blame on yourself. And I couldn't get a read on this guy, and he's talking to his dining companion, and they're whispering to each other. So it's only making me more paranoid. What's going on? So around fish course, the fish course comes around, and it's halibut and almond milk. Really simple dish, but again, they barely touched it. And I asked, is there something wrong? And he says, oh, his dining companion was a vegetarian. provided something for her, but it just didn't happen. And she wasn't eating anything. He wasn't really eating anything. So again, the whole mood of the line. There's three of us. We're just as low as humanly possible, because you can see what everyone's doing, and we're just nervous. And then, I think it's right around the meat course. We're serving him, a 48-hour cooked short rib at the time. And he asked me this question I will never, ever forget, because it sort of messed me up in the head forever. And he's a really nice guy, very suave Frenchman. He said, "Hey, David," again, I'm like this far away from him. I'm very close. He's like, "David, well, you have 2 stars. Do you want 3 Michelin stars?" In my head, I was like, what kind of evil monster are you? Because if I say, I'm happy with 2 stars, that's going to just seem that I'm, lazy and we don't want. Because you have to understand, if you're a 2-star, you're just assume that you're shooting for 3 stars. I'm really content with 2 stars. Deserve 2 stars, and we got 2 stars right off the bat, and nothing would make me more unhappy than to get 3 stars, because all you can do is go down. There's about 5 restaurants: Massa, Le Bernardin, Jean-Georges, Daniel, per se. 3 Michelin stars in New York City. There's probably, I think, 8 in the entire United States. to serve the best food in the world. We want to hold ourselves accountable to the highest standard. But if I say, yeah, we want to get 3 stars, then I feel like I'm telling him we're overly confident. And then if I say, no, we want to go to a 1-star restaurant, I'm totally screwed. I don't know what to say. So I said something on the lines of, we're very happy that you rewarded us with 2 Michelin stars. We want to represent the guide very well. We're going to try very hard to improve every day. I'm just buying time to say anything that we want 3 stars. And I said we're going to try to get better every day. Maybe one day we'll get 3 stars. Things had changed a lot for myself and for everyone that worked at Momofukoko. It was asking the question, were we cooking for ourselves? Were we cooking for the diners? Because that's initially what we started to cook for, was to make delicious food for people that wanted to eat something tasty. Now I had to ask this sort of question, whether were we cooking food for awards? Were we cooking food for everything that I didn't believe in? I wish I could tell you that I've learned from that experience, but that's not the case. Because this is the Michelin Guide is coming out again, and it's coming out in like 3 weeks, the first week of October. And I think the chefs in this Michelin Guide were masochists, because we look at this guide and we wait to see who's going to be awarded a star, who's going to drop a star. And to tell you that I don't care would be a total lie. I care very much, and I'm deathly afraid we're going to lose a star. So.